I'm so happy you're joining me today, as I'm going to show you how I turn my limitations into my secret weapon. If you're feeling below par, you don't need a challenge, you need ways to create simple, beautiful art you can fall in love with. And I'm going to show you right now how I do that. So let's get started. Hi everyone, Diane here, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be painting some whimsical birds in a tree, so to speak. It's going to be all whimsical, so we'll see how that goes, shall we? Got my Meeden watercolor paper here, going to turn it around so it's this way up, and this is 12 by 9 inches, cold press, 100% cotton, in a block, so it's glued all the way around, which means that when you put water onto the paper it doesn't stretch and cockle, which is never a good thing, cockling. I've got here also, as well as the paper, I've got some Gansai Tambi starry colours. These are different shades of gold and sort of silver. And I thought I would introduce these to anyone who doesn't yet know about them. I'm sure most people do, but with Christmas coming along and even with autumn being such a golden kind of season, these are very handy. They're very good, as very intense. You can get a really good gold colour from those, so I quite like those. This is my second box, actually. I've worn out one box already. Isn't that amazing? I don't often do that. Then I've got to paint with, I've got a pencil because I'm going to draw in some birds to start with, and I've got a Meeden quill brush, which I find is quite good for leaves, and a round, this is a size 8 round, could be any brand, doesn't matter. For what we're doing, anything will do, so to speak, which is not to sort of denigrate people whose equipment is inexpensive, because quite often, I mean, these brushes, when I bought them originally from Japan, a size 8 Drawell round synthetic, good quality synthetic though, they were only about £2 or £3. In fact, some of the smaller sizes were only £1 or thereabouts, so I have stocked up on a lot of those. And details of how to get those Japanese brushes is direct from Mr. Miami is in the details below. So I mustn't talk too long, otherwise we'll get, so let's get on with it. This is the same paints I used on Tuesday. Thank you very much for your support on that painting, by the way. It's done very well and we're very pleased about it. I've also got another tin of paints here, which is a mixture, I do believe, of... This is a mixture of, it's on the back here, Michael Harding, Daniel Smith, Core, Holbein and Old Holland. This is just basically out of my drawer where I keep my paints. And I've picked this one out because I want to do some pinkish flowers on this painting, or something pinkish kind of thing, or I might do. You know what it's like, you never know until you get there. But we've got a lovely salvia in our garden here, which is still flowering like a Trojan, and it's got lovely red flowers on it, and it is September, so you can put flowers in your autumn paintings. Might not be autumn where you are, could be you're in the southern hemisphere, Australia and so on. It's spring, which is nice. So let me see what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw some outlines of birds, and then I'm going to put the branches in and some twigs with some flowers on. So I'll move this out of the way and I'll talk about this paint when I come to start to use it, shall I? And right, let's see. How many birds do I want? Probably 5. I'm really hoping that my eyes are going to hold up today, because I've been getting visual disturbances and things, and it's not much fun. So we have one bird there like that, and let's put another one over here. I don't really know what kind of birds these are, but we'll just do some birds. His tail's up, this one can have his tail down. Got my hand over my mouth, you won't be able to hear what I'm saying. We can fix their legs later when we decide where the branch is going to go, sort of put branches through and join the birds onto the branches. And You go like that, and then we'll have another one down here. We don't have to worry too much about accuracy when it comes to these birds. I think I can't really help what I do. I kind of do them as I do them because I've done them for so long. But if yours come out a little bit more wonky, even wonkier than mine, don't worry about it. It's not important. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw a branch which can go behind these two birds. Now I can put his feet in. Okay, so put the feet like that. This one's already got his legs on. And then I'm going to do another one coming up. No, I'm not quite like that. That's not right. Wrap that out. His feet. Okay, so this one is going to go up like that and over to him. This one, we will take it from there. I think it's best if it doesn't go, oh, look at that. I think it's best if it doesn't go behind the bird exactly, only under its feet. It's always the way, isn't it? When you're not on top form, things like that happen, and it seems so much more important than it really is. But I'll try and get rid of that bit of green there, which I just put there. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so, and then it's up there. That's where that paint is. So now I'm going to put some twigs through like this as well. And one up here like that. And maybe something over here. We'll see how it goes. The first thing I think is to paint the birds, methinks, and I'll put leaves on these twigs, but I'll paint the birds first. So here's my number 8. And the paints that I've got today, as I said, the ones I had the other day, I'm going to have to change my setup here because this is ridiculous. Oh, well, you have to laugh, don't you? I'm not going to pretend this isn't authentic. It's authentic, all right. Painting with a migraine and getting paint all over myself. Hey-ho, never mind. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wet the birds, first of all. And I'm going to put in some paint. And I don't know whether this one's going to be a masterpiece or not. So we'll put some yellow in his chest, and then I shall go, that's benzimidazolone yellow. And then I'm going to put some burnt sienna on his head and wings. Burnt sienna on his tail as well. Benzimidazolone, yes. Yesterday when I had a proper migraine, which may well happen again today, I don't know. You see, I couldn't properly pronounce my words for a minute. I couldn't say homeopathy. And yeah, but if I can say benzimidazolone, there's nothing wrong with me, okay? Whoops. So we'll wet this one now. And let's put some green gold in this one. This is kind of just the background. And then we'll put some perylene green as well in various places. And we'll let that just you know, blend like this one is blending. Don't know quite how that's going to look. And then this one, so we've got green and yellow. Let's go for quinacridone gold in this one. And let's put Perylene green in that too. I'm going to embellish all of these, so this is just kind of background. Okay, so let that run and then see what happens after that. This one down here. Shall we use a bit of this purple? And I don't know whether green work with purple. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and dark. And maybe we'll do this one just in Perylene green on the back and on the tail perhaps. And perhaps some yellow in the front. That bled nicely, didn't it? Okay, so there's our birds, and we will put embellishments and things on them and give them their legs later. But now I'm going to put in some leaves, and I think I shall use my quill brush. I'm going to use these lines as rough guides as to where the leaves are going to go. And I'll do them, I think, fairly big because I don't want to take forever over this. And we will do what we did the other day, I think, which is to come in with one colour like that and then add something else. And just mix the colours up as we go along. Like this. So we've got a nice mixture of greens and browns. And we'll just do them really loosely, I think. I'm not even going to try to do them tidily because I just haven't got it in me today. Green gold is very good. I like that, and it mixes well with everything else I've got on this page too. And I like the way this is smudging. Blurring, a bit like my brain. Quinacridone over here. Burnt sienna. Bit of Perylene green in there too. Put some more Perylene in some of these. Another way to do it is to put in the branch first and then come in with the leaves. You can do it that way around too, and then you can just join them like that. And we could put some purple with some green. We get a kind of brownish colour. So we could do that for this one. Now, I did say that I would do some flowers, but I might not, as it happens. I think you can have a lot of fun doing these, doing really dark ones, possibly near to the bird, to give it some impact in the middle. I think I might do another one up here. That's purple mixed with perylene green. You always need something in there that's really strong. If your nature is that you prefer to do your leaves much more carefully, if you know what I mean, there's nothing to stop you doing that, but to have the same idea of being kind of loose and, what do you call it, impulsive. That's the kind of word I'm looking for. I'm also looking for my scratchy thing, which I can't find at the moment. Where's it gone? Okay, so I just want to put some veins in before this completely dries. Where you use the paint a little bit thicker, you might get a white line. Where it's thin and dry-ish, you'll get a darker one. They'll all be something different to each other. And don't put them straight, put them in slightly curved. If they don't show up because it's too dark or too dry, it doesn't matter because we can use a pen, but I like to start with these because they are more random. All right, okay, so next thing, let's do this branch here in sort of green. And while we're at it, we'll add a bit of brown and we'll bring another one up here. And if I feel that it needs it, I can always put another bird in there if I feel like we want it. So we'll see how that goes. And we must remember, mustn't we, as I tend to say frequently, when you go back to pick up your next lot of paint, when your brush has said, I'm empty, change the colour a little bit. Add a little bit of yellow to it or whatever hits your brush. Maybe rinse off a little bit so it comes out a little bit thinner. This branch here, I'm calling this one the kind of tree that when it goes in the autumn and the leaves turn, this one has nice red leaves. I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it doesn't matter because it's not very accurate in any case. I'm going to put a bit of green as well in up on this end. I do like this green gold. I'll put a list of all the colours that I've used in the description below. I've got a nice gold, purpley area, dark red area there, but we will want a little bit more greenish too coming down. So I'll add some yellowy green. The best thing to do when you're putting leaves in freehand kind of thing is to make sure that they all go in different directions. And, you know, because when you look at a tree and you look at the leaves, they're not all sitting there nice and neat and tidy. They don't wait for you to come along and draw them. I'm just going to put another, just keep still, she's got her paints out. No, it's not like that. They blow around in the wind, don't they? So you can get that sense of movement a little bit if you just keep everything really loose and untidy, incomplete. Another thing you can do if you want to, when you've got to this kind of stage and you've got plenty of leaves in, you can start making them overlap one another a little bit. So these are still very wet, so I won't do it there. But you could come in here, for example, and put a few that overlap, and that gives you a darker area. Maybe here, here, perhaps. That's a nice green, isn't it? Probably got enough leaves now. These are nice, but perhaps they don't want to be quite so blurry. So I think I'll dry that, and then, because the birds, oh, I mustn't forget to put my veins in. There we are. It just gives it a bit more texture, you know. I just try to remember to curve them. I'm talking to myself here. Okay, now I'll get the hairdryer. I'm just trying to make sure that none of this is wet before I take off any of the pencil marks, because it's bound to be. That's the good thing about one of these kneadable rubbers, which erasers, that I've mentioned many times. They are better because they don't leave bits behind when you use them, and they are less likely, if you use them like this, if you press down, then they're less likely to smudge the paint if it's not completely dry, which when you are in a hurry, and most of us usually are, aren't we, these days? Yeah, that can easily happen. So I'm just showing you how to use this, because I know we have a lot of beginners and people who might not have come across this. I mean, I didn't come across it for years. I was just using an ordinary eraser like this one, you know, just an ordinary vinyl eraser. Now, we've got a few things that I want to do now. And I'm not quite sure what's going to be the best way. I want to put some gold on here, and I think what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to do a few gold berries. So we just wet this nice gold paint. And we'll put some gold berries. I'm using a size 4. Probably best to do them in groups of 3s. 3s or 5s, you know. Vary their sizes a little bit. If you've made a mistake, you don't like a particular part of the paint that's gone a bit wrong, just put a nice big berry on top. You can alter the look of your painting quite a lot by placing berries in strategic places. They do look better when they're on top of a darker colour, I suppose. So probably could put some here on top of the red. And you could, if you wanted to, go around the berries with a pen. And then I wanted to put some actual leaves in gold and just make sure that's nice and thick. So I'm using a much smaller brush here for this. And I'll do some of them small and some of them large. Wherever you want. Just put them in between what you've got. And then we could pop in some veins with the gold as well. You could use a gold pen for this if you wanted to, but since we've got the gold paint out. These are all ideas that you can use for your own designs, remember. You know, I'm not trying to show you how to do this particular painting, but I'm just giving you some ideas. I'm going to do this one with a gold beak. In fact, I think I might do them all with gold beaks. Why not? This one can have a little bit of gold on his head too. There we are. Maybe I'll give them gold legs as well. There's nothing wrong with that, so why shouldn't they have golden legs? Okay, that's good. And then I'm going to have to dry it again so that I can put the embellishments into the birds. But maybe before I do that, I'll grab some white and see if white works. Someone told me, I've had lots of little tidbits of information come my way about these white pens. I'm going to do the eyes in white and then I'm going to put black in afterwards. And I realised, though, from my own experience the other day, because I've complained a lot about the fact that these pens dry up, I realised that they can be used on black ink. If you do a drawing in black ink and you make a mistake, you can use this pen to cover up what you've done. And so if it's only for you and it's not a sort of major kind of artistic endeavour, you can just make it look okay again by doing some white. It's like using whiteout, what we used to use when we used to type. So I'm just putting a few dots on some of these leaves. I'm going to give them their eyes using a black pen. And I'm just going to give them comical eyes, so just like sticky out eyes like that. And the question is, am I going to go round them with a pen to make them stand out a bit more? Ah, wrong drawer. This is the one I wanted. Am I going to go round a little bit like that? I might do. And then I might do some gold pen on here. I've gone all quiet. I'm thinking, I'm doing that terrible thing that you shouldn't do when you're doing video. I've just gone off drifting into my own world, forgetting what I'm supposed to be doing, but never mind. Okay, so that one's fine. When that's dry, I'm going to rub off the pencil again. And what am I going to do? I think I need to do the birds first, so I'll finish them off. Now this has got a lovely gold beak, and he's got a very cute face. I think if you have a go at doing these whimsical birds, you will really enjoy them. You know, I've been looking on online for other people's whimsical birds, and I'm not finding very many. When I go looking, all I get is my own. I'm sure there are others, but I can't find them. So I'm going to put some little dots and dashes around his head like that, like a little kind of necklace. And a little kind of black cap. There we are. And we'll give him some spots down here too. And some feathers, not leaves. I was thinking feathers. Yeah, I was thinking leaves rather, yes. Oh dear. Okay, he's done. Maybe I will put some, maybe not much, perhaps just a few dark lines in some of the leaves. Maybe, I'm not sure about that yet. Okay, so number 2 is done. You can still see me. I am still switched on. Go to this one now. He's got his little beak pointed up. This one might be a baby because he's all fluffy. I'm doing these all, as you can see, in different styles because why not? As we say, I'm going to do some circles on his chest. And give him a little gold cap to match his beak. Okay, now this one. Give him some character. I think he needs a bit more dark in the middle of his eye there, doesn't he? And we want to put his wing in. Maybe I'll do it like I did the other one, just put the wing in like that. Follow the line that just serendipitously happened. And I haven't done anyone with wings like this yet. Okay, he's okay, isn't he? A few more little dots here. And the last one down here. I'm going to go with white on this one, I hope. I think that these little birds, painting these, they're not a work of art. They're just fun. And I think I like doing these more than almost anything else, actually. I like doing leaves too. So they work together as a set, don't they? So I think, let me see. We could do a lot more here. We could do a lot more. We could do a lot more. I mean, one of the things that probably would be a good idea would be to outline partially some of the berries so that you can see them a little bit better. There are other things you could do. You could draw spirals and things like that in various places, especially on top of the berries, for example, but that would change the whole look entirely. We could do some dark coloured berries as well. I think that would be quite nice. Let's grab our paintbrush again. Dark brown with a touch of purple. Let's go up the top here first. We could have a whole big cluster of the red ones, couldn't we? That's like, I don't know, it looks like something. So they can go on the, it could go down here too. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be biologically correct. If we wanted to, we could put gold lines on these berries as well. Let's put a few over here, perhaps. That gives it a bit more body, doesn't it? I think the dark colour shows up the gold where I've put the gold leaves. Sometimes I think that this kind of video is the sort where it wouldn't be completely unreasonable to have some music in the background, because you know, some people, I've got a bit of a sore throat, actually. I don't know whether I'm catching a cold. I hope not. I really do hope not. That'll be the limit. I shouldn't get a cold. shouldn't. What was I going to say? Yeah, sometimes you just don't really want to talk too much because you're concentrating on the trivial little thing you're doing. It does take concentration to a certain extent. I'm going to dry it again now. Okay, so that is now dry, and I'm going to outline a few of the leaves, the ones which have got, I just want to lighten it up a little bit. The overall picture, so we're just going to put in some leaf shapes here and there, not covering up what we've already got, but going sort of beside it a little bit, like that. Just to give it a slightly different look. I'm not going to do too many. I think that'll probably do. Some of them have got gold veins, some of them have got white. I might put a little bit of white around some of the berries. Okay, so there we are. I think that'll probably do. I could have done a background if I'd felt like it. I could have done various other things, but this is what I did. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I could have put some flowers in, actually. I could have done, but I'm not going to. I think that's enough for now. I will let you go, and I will see you again soon, probably on Saturday, all being well. And so I'll say bye for now, everybody, and have a lovely day. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.